Hey everyone, Jeremy here with another episode of Daily Marketing on our Facebook and Instagram ads epic. Today we are going to be going through the best practices to set up custom audiences here in Facebook Ads Manager, and then some of the kind of advanced qualifiers or advanced ways of setting it up, as well as kind of some best practices as well. So we're in our business manager. We're going to go over to all tools. We're going to go over to audiences. And once audiences decides to load, we will continue on. So as you can see right now, I don't have any custom audiences, but what you can do is you can do three different sorts of audience things here in the audiences tab. Number one is create a custom audience. Number two is create a lookalike audience. Number three is create a saved audience. Now, a saved audience is an audience that's obviously saved, but it can include detailed targeting and all sorts of things. Basically, it's what you would put at the ad set level. This is a useful tool for people that are reusing the same sorts of audiences over and over, right? For custom audiences, this is going to be basically audience from customer contacts, website traffic, or mobile app traffic. And then lookalike audiences are basically lookalikes based on pixel conversion data or people who like your page or engage on Facebook with any of your content, or folks that come from your custom audiences, right? So lookalike audiences are always dependent on something. That said, lookalikes are extremely, extremely useful. So let's start off with a custom audience here. So you got some different options when it comes to creating a custom audience. And so, it really depends on the job that you're trying to do. So number one, I would say, a lot of people, what I end up using the most is customer files, right? And that's going to be, just past customers from whatever I'm trying to create an audience about, right? So usually you'll want 1,000 to 2,000 purchasers, right? And it's usually best to go with purchasers over anything else, of emails, phone numbers, etc., that you've collected. And that's usually about the optimal size to then build a lookalike audience out of, right? So next, website traffic. This is almost as good if you have a website that's set up properly and is able to capture things like purchase conversions, and you have sufficient data essentially to get 1,000 to 2,000 customers over 180 days. Then I'd say that works well for that. Or the other nice thing with that is doesn't have to be customers. It can be leads or whatever. Next, you have kind of app activity. App activity is the same sort of idea, except for website traffic, except it's for mobile apps, right? So as you can kind of see, I'm going to go through these real quick. So for custom audience, customer file, you can add, copy, or paste your own data, import from MailChimp, you could potentially include lifetime values. So what that means is if you have like a customer that's a lot of repeat customers, Facebook can take and prioritize finding more people like that versus just finding one-off purchasers. So when you add custom audiences, know that you have to own the data, or you have to be getting it from like a trusted partner. It used to be that this sort of thing wasn't checked, just to be honest, and you could upload like paid list and things like that and build custom or lookalike audiences off of that. These days, that will get you banned. Don't do it. Like I said, it used to be kind of the Wild West when it came to custom audiences. It no longer is. So when you go to create a custom audiences, there's a number of things that you can add. So you prepare your customer list. When you add in a CSV, when you add a CSV, you can do email, phone, mobile advertiser ID, first, last name, zip code, city, state, province, country, date of birth, year of birth, gender, age, Facebook app, user ID, Facebook page user ID, right? And so what you want to do with this is, they're going to ask where the original data source is from. Is it from customers and partners, directly from customers, or from partners? Advertised sourced information directly from partners, e.g. agencies or data providers. So if you get a legit list from a data provider, you can still upload it, but you can't just, scrape, right, and upload it. So you add a template, or you can copy paste the data, right? As you go along, you map it, it hashed and uploads, and then it creates it, right? That said, with website traffic, it can be a little bit easier. You can do all website visitors, people who have specific events. Right now, I just have page view for this account, but you can go up to 180 days. The nice thing is that you can do or qualifiers there. You can also do, you can exclude potential people as well. So like if I want people that looked at X product but not Y product, right? Maybe I have a couple of lines of products and I'm trying to keep them separate. Another thing that you can do is refine by URL, right? And so you can do page view contains, doesn't contain, equals, further refined by, frequency, further defined by device. So if I wanted to put together an audience that was, people that were all website, not all website, people who visited specific pages, or I can do visitors by time. So give me the top 5% of visitors in the past, 30 days. It goes up to 180 days, right? That could be a very useful one to make an audience out of. I find that a lot of some of my best performing audiences are frequency. So you do page view past 30 days, depending on the volume, and frequency of above 4, right, or something like that, or 5, where you're able to look at it and you're able to say, okay, these are people that are coming back pretty consistently, right? And so these are who I want. These are very, very highly engaged customers or potential customers, right? And so that's that's a potential one. You've got the or qualifier here as well, right? So you can have custom audiences of, somebody that spends a lot of time, or is, visiting quite often, things like that, right? And so those are definitely options as well. So for app activity, it's a similar idea. Offline activity is interesting. So you have offline sets. And you can do that so you can upload offline sets from things like if your point of sale offers, like, get emails and names and things like that, right? You can grab that, upload it to Facebook, and it'll go back to 720 days. And you can create an audience based out of people that are going into your physical location, which can be very useful as well. And you can, there's a whole myriad of list of things that you can have there. Finally, engagement. Now, this is something that I use quite a lot, especially as you think about sales or marketing in a funnel. You're going to have people that engage, people that go to your site, people that ultimately end up like working their way down the funnel. And so, at the top of the funnel, right, maybe you run a video with wide open targeting, right, and you just want to see who's watched it. What you can do is you can take a video and you could do people that have watched at least 75% of the video or more. And then in the past 365 days, create a custom audience there. And then you could create a lookalike audience of that, right? And then a lot of times what people want to do too is they'll target these custom audiences as like part of a sequence. So if you think about it, if I start off with like a video, right, that's totally cold, and I turn around and I run it and I just want people to watch 75% of that video because I figure those people are kind of engaged at least, and I can run a traffic ad to them, then I tend to actually target that custom audience of the 75% for my traffic ad, right? And then so on and so forth down the line. The others that you can do is you can do lead form. People that have, kind of done lead form ones. You could do full screen experiences, right? People that have opened your collection ad or canvas ad, people that have interacted with your page. So you can actually do people that, everyone who visited the page, everyone who engaged with any post or ad, click the call to action button, send a message to your page, or people that saved your page or any post. Instagram business profile, people who engage with your business, visited your business profile, engage with your post or ad, people who send a message to your business, or people who saved any post or ad. And then finally, events, people that are interested, responded, going, or interested in your events. And you could select, then the specific event after that. So that's really useful as well. So lots of interesting options there to create kind of these custom audiences. I think, and then create the lookalikes built off of them. I think where it gets really interesting is when you start kind of layering these sorts of audiences, right? And so, you think about things like, okay, let's say, I'm trying to get customers to re-engage, people that have been customers in the past and are, I'm trying to get back into my funnel to buy, something else. What I can do there is I could do something like has visited the page, has purchased in 180 days, but then narrow that to people that have visited the page in the last 30. So these are people that probably purchased at some point, but then after that visited the page, right? Does that sort of make sense? And so there's a lot of different interesting ones like that you can do. Like I said, best practices, what I've seen work is the 75% video thing is really popular among Facebook advertisers as a way of kind of testing what audiences are potentially engaging with your content and with your messaging. I would say the next one that I see a lot is frequency, frequency of folks that come to your website. After that, I see a lot of people create custom audiences of add to cart and purchase and then do 1% lookalikes of that. Getting into lookalikes a little bit. Lookalikes are based on, you grab a seed audience. You choose a location, which is either a trade area or a specific country. And then you could create audience sizes 0 to 1, 1 to 2, all the way up to 10%, right? 1% lookalike audiences of your purchasers are usually your best hot audience. And so I found a lot of success with that. And then you could do, a number of audiences as well. So you can have the 0 to 1%, right? That's people between that. You could have like 1 to 3%, what have you. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. So yeah, that's a high level overview of custom audiences. I think definitely get your data from reputable sources or preferably your own. Make sure it's a reasonable size seed audience for a lookalike to extrapolate on. And, don't be afraid to use those engagement audiences in order to kind of get a good head start. So start with some wide open targeting, see who responds, and then, go from there. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully this was able to be useful and help kind of give a high level overview of how the custom audiences and lookalike audiences work. Thanks for watching. Happy marketing, everyone.